Hi everybody, I want to go through our Math 141 Section 63 syllabus for Spring 2021. My name is Carrie Donahoe and you have my Heartland email provided to you here. I will give my cell phone out upon request, but I haven't found that to be necessary because I basically am very responsive through email and I can get back to you really quickly through that. It goes to my phone. It's like you're texting me. So that's your pretty much best bet at getting a hold of me. My office is virtual via Zoom for the spring semester, and my office hours are scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, 9:30 to 11, and Tuesday, Thursday, 10 to 11, or by appointment, of course. So I will be available online in my Zoom room during these times to promptly answer any questions that you may have. But of course, just like anyone and everything that we're dealing with, that if that has to change because of something out of my control, I will let you know via an email most likely. Here's the link to my Zoom room and the Zoom ID. You can use either the number or the name. Okay, so I'm going to trust that you're all in this course. I'm not going to go read through the prerequisite material. What do you need for this course though? So you need online access to MyLabs Plus. So there is a code that you will buy to get you into there. You can either buy it from the Heartland Bookstore or you can just log into the course starting the Wednesday before classes start in the spring. And when you get logged in there, it will prompt you and you can buy a code right there. So either one of those methods is fine. The textbook is included in the online course. I provide links to the sections that you may need. So you do not need to buy the physical textbook if you wish to. That's fine. You can do that. So whenever you're looking at your bookstore options, one will say code only and the other one will say bundle. All you really need is the code. Feel free to buy the bundle with the book if you want, but it's not necessary. You can use any type of calculator that you want, but you will want something that does like decimals, percentages, and fractions. You will need a computer or some device to access MLP and internet access, of course, since this is an online class. You will need some kind of a webcam or smartphone for doing Zoom. And also we have 2 proctored tests that you will need to Zoom with me to do. So you need something for that. As far as the testing is concerned, you really need to have a phone or a tablet that will be basically your Zoom camera while you're taking your test on a computer. And also some kind of an ability to scan and send your written work. There are several apps that can do that will allow you to take pictures of your work, change them into PDFs, and then send it. Okay, we will go through and we will learn all of these outcomes. We will meet all of these outcomes as the semester progresses. I'm not going to read through all of those because they won't make a lot of sense to you yet. But as we go through, we will certainly meet all of those goals. And then there are some optional topics. We will cover a couple of those, but definitely not that whole list. Okay, what you are going to be interested in is how are you getting graded? So I use the standard 90, 80, 70, 60 scale. And here are the breakdown of the weighted percentages, how I calculate your grade. Homework is 15%, quizzes are also 15%. There are 4 module exams, which are 50%, and then there's a comprehensive final. Okay, as far as work and deadlines, homework opens every Saturday morning at 12 a.m. and then it's due a little over a week later on the following Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. You have to submit it by the due date to receive full credit, but after the deadline passes, you can still complete any homework with a 10% penalty all the way until Sunday, May 9th at 11:59 p.m. So right up until finals, you can always go back in and complete any lingering homework that you may not get to for 90% credit. Quizzes, you also have weekly quizzes. They open and close at the same time. Quizzes are different from homework in that you do not get the option to complete those late. So if you don't complete it by the due date, you just have a 0. The difference that you get on quizzes, though, are that you get 5 attempts at each quiz and only your highest score counts toward your final grade. So I always encourage students, as far as the quizzes are concerned, to try to get at least one attempt in before the weekend. Right? By Friday, have one attempt that you've got in and you've got a score, because any score is better than 0. And then use the weekend to try to up that. Take it a couple more times if you need to. If you already got a great score on it, then you can be done by the weekend. There are also what I call attendance essay quizzes. So this is one of the ways that I track your attendance in the course. They are quiz grades as well, and the point values will be given on them. So every week you will have one of these to respond to. These are also like the quizzes in that you cannot turn them in late, but on these only one attempt is allowed. We'll talk more about that. And then the exams, as far as the unit exams are concerned, you are not able to use notes, other people, or any technology other than the specific approved items. You may use any kind of calculator and StatCrunch. So StatCrunch is a program that we will be using in this course. And again, we will talk about that a little bit more when we get to it. But that is something that you're always allowed to have open in a separate tab to do some number calculating for you. As far as proctoring is concerned, we will have 2 proctored exams, the Unit 2 exam, which falls right at midterm, and the final. Those will be proctored via Zoom. The other exams are non-proctored. They are on your own merit. You take them at your own time, sometime during the week that they are open. Let's see, there are a lot of exam policies here, but I'm going to just skim through and see if there are any very important ones that I want to point out to you. They're due by their due date. They will cover any material from the notes, homework quizzes, and essay quizzes. On your exams, you will have some of the computer-generated problems and also some essay questions. So that's why you should definitely make sure you do the essay quizzes each week, because that's what's going to get you ready for the essay questions on the tests. I do provide practice exams for those, so that will be important and helpful for you to complete, but they don't count for or against your grade. The practice is just that, for practice. And as far as scratch work is concerned, it's not, in this course, I don't require it, but if you wish to send me scratch work for possible partial credit, you do have to send it immediately after you complete the exam, not 2 or 3 days later. You have to send it right then. And I want you to use some type of a scanning app to do that so that it comes in as a single PDF document, not several pictures. Units 1, 3, and 4 are unproctored. They're 2 hours timed. I will send out the password when we're ready for those. They're available for 9 days, so I don't give extensions on those. You can find a time that works for you in a 9-day window. And I give further details on those pages in MLP when we get there, so you don't have to worry about all that quite yet. As far as the midterm and the final, those are proctored. They're also timed for 2 hours. I have session dates and times tentatively scheduled for both of those, so you can be looking at that now. Plan ahead for those now. I did that the fall semester. I did the Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, and the Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, and that seemed to work well. Most students were able to make those work. If you know ahead of time that you absolutely would not be able to make one of those work, let me know. The sooner you let me know, the better we can work around it. But if anything changes about that, I will definitely let you know as we get closer to those times. There are some information here about how you're going to set up your camera and exactly what we're going to do during the Zoom sessions. I'm not going to read through all of that because there's way more details given in MLP about that as well. Reminder about academic integrity, that if you do get caught in an academic integrity situation where you're caught cheating on an exam or on any other portion of the course, that it could cause you to be withdrawn from the course. and that could have some pretty negative effects on you in the future. So it's just not worth it. I know it's tempting as we're working in this virtual environment, but it's definitely not worth doing. I use the same withdrawal policy that's used across campus, which is the more than 4 unexcused absences, which is the equivalent of 2 weeks of class. In a 16-week class, if you miss more than 2 weeks for whatever reason, then that has a very huge detriment on your performance in the course. And at that point, again, that's a campus-wide policy of withdrawal. You can be withdrawn all the way up to April 9th. That's the final day for you to either choose to withdraw yourself or for you to be withdrawn by me if you exceed this absence limit. Basically, each week consists of 2 different requirements, which is completing your quote regular homework and quizzes, and also then that weekly essay quiz. So each week is 2 attendance points. So if you miss the whole week, you already have 2 absences, and then another whole week would put you at the 4 absences, and then any more than 2 weeks would be concerns about withdrawal. You will always be updated on that. I don't just randomly withdraw people without warning them. If you are starting to accumulate absences, I will be emailing you and trying to figure out what's going on and trying to fix that. I've got a list of important dates here, again, that you can look over on your own. And of course, the disclaimer, which is anything in this syllabus could possibly change. We just don't know. If anything changes, it will be announced to you via announcements in MLP or email or both. And then finally, there's a week-to-week course calendar in here, which shows you exactly what we're going to cover every week, the dates that things will open and close, the exams, and all of that. So I definitely recommend printing the entire syllabus, but if not the entire syllabus, then definitely at least this last 2 pages where you can hang it up near your workspace or put it in a binder near you so that you can mark things off as you go and you know exactly what's coming up due when. Of course, because everything is online, technology is important for this course. Everything we're completing is through MLP and using StatCrunch. So make sure you have backup plans. Make sure that if your Wi-Fi goes out, that you have a friend's house you might be able to go to, or could you go to the library, or could you go to campus? I know what's open at any given time is kind of up in the air, but try to have fallback plans for those. I don't record any of my Zoom sessions, but we're required to put this in here. Everyone is, so this is kind of a moot point for our course. And incompletes, we will deal with that on a personal basis if that were something that might happen for you. And really, the FERPA statement just says that please email me from your Heartland email account, because if I get emails from email addresses that I don't recognize, I really can't communicate back and forth with those. And that is the end of this syllabus. So again, I skimmed through this very quickly because videos quickly become very long, but read through it more detailed on your own. And like I said, it's a good thing to have printed off even at least this schedule here.